What's going on, guys? How you guys doing today? It is a beautiful day today. As I always like to say, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Today I'm just kind of playing around. I have an area. All right, first of all, we went out, bought our kids a nice little tiny pool that they quickly destroyed. It was an air pool, you blow it up. So I've been using that pool to kind of put vegetation on that I'm going to compost. Just kind of get it out of the way, put it on the pool. That way, you're not going to have grass growing up into that because, it's going to be there for a little bit until I do something with it. Well, I finally got all that brush off of the pool, and now it's just kind of sitting. And I pulled it off of a spot, and it cleared all the grass. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I pulled the pool off, and this is what we're looking at right here. Now this pool, it has been in this area for a while. Enough to kill all the grass. And as you can see, some grass that I just moved the pool maybe a week ago, and it's been sitting in this spot, and now it's starting to kill this grass right here, simply because light can't get to it, and it's smothering the grass out. So I'm going to try something here. I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to try it. I have in my basement a worm farm. I'll show you here in a minute. My thought is I'm going to put some stuff in the middle of that circle, food scraps, more vegetation type stuff, vegetables, that kind of thing. I'm not putting meat or anything like that. Well, I am going to try this. I do have my son. He did not finish his burger from Cookout the other day, so I picked that out of the trash, and I'm gonna put that in the middle of that circle that you just saw, and I'm gonna cover it up with the pool. Why am I doing this, you might ask? Just to see how many worms come in and begin to devour this stuff. I have some food scrap, a little bit of food scraps. I have some toilet tissue, some little bit of milk carton, cardboard, egg carton type stuff, and that kind of thing. Things that, worms really enjoy. So I'm going to put it in the middle of that circle, cover it up with that pool, and just kind of get an idea, and just kind of see what happens. This is just a trial, a test. I have an idea what's going to happen, but I'm gonna come out here on a daily basis and just check and see what transpires. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you my worm farm. First of all, we're just here's the burger I was telling you about, just in case you guys want to see a good Cookout burger. Yeah, throw that right down there. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, you inviting rodents and you inviting all this stuff. Well, sometimes you gotta take risk. But no, that right there will be gone before you know it. And it ain't like it's a big pile. It's just one little, and it's gonna be covered with that plastic, so it'll be okay. I'm not gonna put all this down. I got, egg cartons, banana peel. I'm not gonna put all this down because I just kind of want to. I'm just kind of seeing something. And here's the vegetables here that I have: tomato, cucumber, with an apple. Voila, right there. Get all this juice. There we go. All right. Now, we're going to take our tarp or our pool and we're just going to cover it. Just like that. We're going to cover it. Just like that. And we'll see what happens. I'm just curious to see how many worms will accumulate in here. Yeah, it's just all out of curiosity. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to use any of this in the garden or anything like that, but if it works out, I mean, and we can, then why not? This is an experiment at this point. I mean, you figure with my worm farm, every now and then we get worm castings out of that, which is basically worm poop, and worm tea, which is basically pee, worm pee, and runoff from the vegetables, you know, because when vegetables, when it begins to break down and the worms are eating it, you know, there is some liquid that comes out of the vegetables. Well, it's going to seep through and it's going to go into the little container. Now, that's what you would consider worm tea. Not to mention the water that I'm putting in and the pee that the worms are doing. So it's a mixture of a few things. The worm castings is the poop that the worms are doing, you know, and it's really good. The tea and the castings really good for your flowers, your plants, I mean, shoot, bring it upstairs in the kitchen, fry it up with some potatoes. I'm just joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't eat that stuff. But anyway, it's really good for your vegetables, your flowers, and things of that nature. So if this works the way I think it's going to work, it may not do anything, to be honest with you, but if it does what I think it's going to do, then this could be kind of a secondary worm farm outside that we can kind of work with and use for the garden as well. The only that I can think of at the moment, the only con would be when I need to use the worm castings or the dirt or whatever it is I feel like I need to use to put in the garden. I'm gonna have to dig it up. So that's gonna cause a hole. But then I can kind of use that as another area to plant something in, you know, and then kind of put that somewhere else and then just kind of go from there. So the stage would be, and all this is what's going on in here. I don't know what the truth is. The stage would be putting down the pool, killing the grass under it. Or, I mean, you ain't even got to kill the grass under it. You can just add the food to a grassy area. Put that down, put the pool down on top of it. While it's killing the grass, all the worms and stuff are coming up to enjoy the fruit of what's under there, all the goodness that's under there. After a while, the grass is killed, leaving you a nice round or rectangle or whatever you use, an area to plant something in. The worms have come up and made that area very good to be for planting, because as the worms are moving around, they're breaking up the dirt. They're also pooping as they're going, so they're adding into the ground worm castings. Once I put that down, put the food in, put that down, the ground is fertile, grass is dead, then I could either keep doing it, and that would just be my main outside worm source, because you can dig in and use your worms, put the worms in the other beds, whatever. You could do something like that. Or you could say this is a good spot to plant strawberries. I don't know, a good place to plant carrots. Your green leaves. Whatever, tomatoes, whatever you want to plant, because the soil is right now. The soil is ready to go, and then you move your pool to another area and start the whole process over again. It's a thought. Again, all this is trial and error. Yeah. But anyway, that's my thought. Let me show you my worm farm real quick. Okay, here is my worm farm. I've had this worm farm now for, oh boy, we're talking, it's been many years. It's been well over 5 years, I know. Probably almost, it's been a long time. But I purchased this worm farm by Worm Factory. That's what this is, Worm Factory. And I must say, I'm pleased with it. I tried doing a worm farm myself, and it ended up it started out doing very well. But then I ended up killing all my worms because the holes that I had in my bin got clogged, and all the water and moisture from the vegetables I was putting in rose up and basically drowned all my stuff. And it was nasty. So I went ahead and bought the Worm Factory, and everything's been going smooth. Very nice system, very nice. If I had to do it over, I would buy this again, because it's made very well. It comes with a stand. Down here, it comes with a stand, as you can see that over here. There's the legs, so it's off the ground, maybe, I don't know, 11, 12 inches. It comes with three boxes with plenty of holes in it. Right now I'm using 2 of them. As you can see right here on the corner, there's one, the lip of one, and this is the other one. And the idea is, when one gets full, you put another one on top, and you just keep stacking, taking the one off the bottom, putting one on top, and then when that gets full, it's a stacking system. Stack, 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 and it's just kind of a revolving cycle of taking off the bottom, stacking on the top, taking off the bottom, stacking on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this top layer here, and the lighting isn't the best, so but I got my flashlight. So, and right now I just have all shredded paper here. I got stuff underneath this shredded paper. I have we got spinach, kale. Let me grab my light here. If y'all can see that, a spinach, kale. Yeah, it's not my basement is not lit very well. So I got that, and I got this covering it. This right here, the shredded paper, this helps to minimize the gnats and the little fruit flies and stuff. It doesn't stop it, it just minimizes it. So you got a little gnat right there, a little gnat right there. They're trying to get to that green down there, but with this pile of shredded paper, it's really hard for them to get down in there. But I'm not saying they don't. It's just hard for them. All right, so let me lift up this top layer. There we go. And put this over here. I don't want to kill any worms. I don't want to squish any. Let's put it over here. There we go. So this is what the worm castings look like. Can y'all see that? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't need my flashlight. Okay, yeah. But this is what the worm castings look like. This is all dirt gold right here. That's what this is. That's all poop. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And there's plenty of worms in here, as you can see. Plenty of worms. This is what you call some really good stuff. But you don't need a lot of castings from what I understand. It ain't like you're planting right into the castings. You're using the castings like a fertilizer. You know, that's what you're using the castings for. So you're not going to use all this in your pot and plant right in it. You're going to sprinkle some on the top of the dirt that you've put in the pot. So it gives the roots nutrients and stuff like that. The bottom of this, if I take it's a little bit more. I mean, some dirt does get down in the bottom where it shouldn't really be, but it is. And there's just more castings, more worms that like to get down in here. There's a spigot. If you can see that, let me move you a little bit. If you can see that right there, that's a spigot right there, where if water gets down in this little reservoir here, it all goes toward the spigot. And then I have a container here filled with worm tea. I'll bring you over here. Turn on my spotlight. See that in there? That's worm tea. That's pea, worm pea. It's vegetable, just the liquid that comes off of the vegetables that are breaking down. And it's water that I may sprinkle on you can see it. You can see it going in there. So that's open. And as you can see, it's draining in here and it'll pull up. Now, this is a concentration of worm tea. You don't want to just pour this on your stuff. No. You want to get a little bit, mix it with water and water it down and then use it. So this is a concentration of liquid fertilizer for your plants. And it's really good. It does really good. But yeah. So it can get quite nasty down here in the sewer. Yeah, this is the sewer, and worms really enjoy it. There's plenty of worms down here. Plenty of worms down here. Okay. So, but now with this, now I want to try something outside, and that's what we were doing earlier with the pool. I want to see how that would work and see how well it will do bringing worms to that area so that we have a worm farm inside and we have a worm farm outside. All right. Well, that is the agenda. That's the agenda for now. The worm farm is looking good. And if I can get a nice looking, or not looking, but if I can get a nice, well-operated worm farm outside, then, who knows? I was thinking maybe transferring, I don't know. I think I just keep one inside, one outside. Yeah, I think that'd be the best bet. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys. Make sure you subscribe, tap the like button, hit the bell icon, and I'll holler at you guys in the next one.